There are many auto critics, auto journalists in Canada, and clearly all of us share a passion for cars, for the automobile. Now, among us, we can't all agree on what our favorite categories or segments are. I mean, some of us love hot hatches, station wagons, pickups, jeeps, whatever. And while maybe a fellow colleague of mine or a number of colleagues don't agree with what I feel is the best, most interesting vehicle available for sale in Canada, the very vast majority of us, with perhaps a handful of exceptions, all love this: GM's full-size SUVs. No matter the body style, the number of doors, generation, powertrain, model year, color, whatnot, these trucks have somehow bored a hole in our collective heart, and we just simply adore them. They're familiar, they're attractive, they're likable, they're capable, and so on and so forth. And this, my friends, is a member of the newest generation of GM's full-size trucks. And look, it's no secret. It's just the best there is. It may very well be the best of all time. When it comes to petrol or diesel burning, we'll see what the future holds from GM. This, obviously, as you can see, is not just any full-size GM SUV. No, it's a 21 GMC Yukon Denali. I just had to. It's a Denali, right? And so we're going to do the usual tour. We'll talk about everything that goes on inside, and we'll take it for a spin. And look, I mean, if you want to just skip to the end or skip to another video, go right ahead. This is the best full-size SUV you can buy on the market today. Period. You just pick your color, pick your poison, Cadillac, GMC, or Chevy, and you won't look back. I mean, it doesn't do everything perfectly. I mean, there's one thing it does terribly wrong, but I mean, you know, and this is the small version. You can pretty much imagine what it is. It doesn't do perfectly. Anyhow, enough of that. We'll do the walk around, we'll take it for a spin, and well, here we go. Okay, let's just get pricing out of the way right now. In the US, base price is $52,695 for a 21 Yukon. If you move up to the Denali, $68,795 for the 3-liter Duramax diesel version, and $70,295 for the 6.2-liter V8 version. Keep in mind, all of those versions are two-wheel drive and not four-wheel drive. In Canada, the base Yukon is $58,548, two-wheel drive. Now the Denali in Canada is four-wheel drive only and starts at $80,348. At that price, your pick. Do you want the 3-liter Duramax diesel, or do you want the oh so creamy smooth 6.2-liter V8? So sorry about that. Look, what do you get? I mean, there's no point in going over the entire list of features because we'll be here until next Christmas. But the interior has a unique design. Like, for the first time, the Yukon Denali is really different, or the approach is more premium versus the regular quote-unquote Yukons. Got a 10.2-inch screen on the inside, a 14 speaker, Bose audio, and on and on and on. Let's just squeeze in here styling. Honestly, look, it is phenomenally hot. Again, boring black, but I do love these optional wheels. 22s are part of a package, which I'll tell you about in a second. But these specific design ones, like the polished edges on the spokes, countless spokes, that's an option. Look, if I had to pick, the Escalade is fantastic, but I like the subdued nature of the Tahoe over the Yukon. And the front end is, I don't know, it's got a little bit more bite to it. This is trying really hard to be and not be a Cadillac equivalent. But I mean, I don't know, there is no real bad angle to this thing. So my tester also has the ultimate package, which is like 10,000 and change. Includes 22-inch wheels, not these ones exactly, but 22-inch wheels, adaptive cruise control, the power running boards, which are a gift to yourself. You owe it to yourself to get the power running boards all the time. panoramic sunroof, rear entertainment system, all kinds of safety features. Grand total, are you sitting down? $93,000. But somehow I'm okay with that, because there is truly nothing this truck can't do. Oh yeah, and it also has an adaptive air suspension. So, and a 2-speed transfer case. Anyways, I'll tell you a little bit more about all of that in a few moments. Let's do the usual walk around. Power tailgate, obviously. I guess I could have set up the rear seat. Anyway, you're looking here with the third row stowed, about 2,050 liters of trunk space, which is more or less the interior volume of most compact cars, all the way up to the top there. If you bring up the third row up, you're looking at about 722 liters of trunk space. Now the big difference compared to the previous generation is, as you can see, the third row does fold flat into the floor as opposed to fold flat onto the floor, making this a very accessible, very usable trunk space. So third row is power operated. I don't know, this is one of the reasons why you want to buy this truck, on top of styling and equipment and all of that. Check this out. Yeah, I love that. You know what that means? That means that even my 2.5-year-old daughter can climb into the truck. Well, when the suspension is at its lowest setting, obviously, but she can actually easily climb aboard this massive truck. And both kids, while they're loving the space on the inside. Let me check that out. This is the short version too, right? This is not an XL. It is an 8-seater configuration. So 2, 3, 3. There is easily enough room for a human adult to sit in between the two kids. That is if they're being rowdy. There probably won't be, because here your 12.6-inch screen for the rear entertainment system, fantastic. And you can see that the belt line, or the belt line, is actually fairly low, so visibility is fantastic. Oddly, however, no shades. That's maybe one of the only shortcomings in this vehicle, because if I'm not mistaken, the Escalade has shades. I'm just not seeing them. I've looked, but nope, no shades. Okay. So, well, a word on, thank you. I was a little bit disappointed, but the texture is actually nice. So as long as you don't rub your fingers on this plastic, it's good. But overall, the presentation, it's kind of boring because it's all black. But the wood is authentic. It's got a nice grain to it. This is padded, contrast stitching, and these seats, just in case you forget what it is you're driving, these seats are super comfortable. They're actually fairly big. Let's just climb up. Oh well, while I'm here, there's your 2-speed transfer case, 2 auto, and there's your leveling for the suspension and your drive modes. It's all right there, easily accessible. Heads up display too. I love when the adjustments are right here as opposed to navigating menus in the display. So many things to say. Start it up. Cooled seats are running because it's actually warm today. Well, it's getting warmer anyway. Speaking of warm, this makes me feel cold. It's all, the weird thing is that you gotta pull as opposed to push. Only the park is a push. Somehow it would make more sense if it was a push, but maybe it's a safety feature that you have to pull because it means that you're actually committed and not making a mistake to going into any gear or whatnot. Anyway, there's your 10.2 inch screen, my mistake. It's fairly easily accessible. It's big, it's beautifully integrated into the dashboard, so it doesn't stick out like it does in the other Yukons. HVAC controls, very straightforward. The piano black actually looks really nice. I don't know if it's the contrast with the colors and the chromed, and I don't know. It's not cheapish looking. It actually does seem premium. Storage, excellent. Wireless charger, storage, more cup holders right there. Storage, good stuff. Door bins are actually really nice. You may have gotten a sight or a shot of that before. The dashboard is beautiful. It's chunky, it's powerful, it's purposeful, and it's so beautifully assembled. I love that. I do sit very low, so that might be why the dash looks so high. Visibility is not entirely tricky. You kind of get to see around the huge base of the A-pillar and the mirror block-off plate there. Here are your typical gauges. I've always loved GM's gauges with its multiple indicator layout right there. So straightforward, easy to read. I don't know, it's perfect, as I kind of said. I guess it's time for a drive now. So I'm going to pull on the D. Oh, that sounded terrible. Anyway, let's go. I don't think I've ever looked smaller or more dwarfish on screen like that in any vehicle. Just so you know, I mean, I set up my camera at the topmost corner of the A-pillar and the windshield frame, so all of the shots are identical. So this gives you an idea of the scale of the SUV. Obviously, it's massive. Yeah, I'm already in D. Where do we begin? I know where. Adaptive air suspension. For all ultra premium SUVs, nothing ever beats these adaptive air suspensions. In this vehicle, one of the issues with the previous generation of GM's full-size trucks was that ride quality was a little dry, I guess is the best way to put it. This generation is 50% better, let's just say. And it is all, I think, if not mostly, due to this air suspension. For the most part, the ride quality it's docile, it's smooth, it's comfortable, it's refined, it's very, very premium. And this despite the presence of the 22-inch wheels. Normally that would, kind of play against ride quality, but not so in this. I mean, if there's a sharp amplitude change in the quality of the road surface, yes, you will feel the dampers and the suspension kind of half struggle with controlling the weight of the wheels and tires. But for the most part, this thing is the most gentlest of giants. I'm not sure I would fit 32-inch tires and wheels on this. Maybe 26s, but that would be, the cutoff point. That's neither here nor there. I did mention, obviously, that this, in Canada, for the same $80,000 and change, you can get the 3-liter Duramax V6 or this 6.2-liter V8. The V8 produces 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque at 4,100 RPM, which incidentally is the same torque output as the Duramax V6. But there is one absolute difference. This V8 is, without being obscene, absolutely creamy smooth. It is docile, relaxed, gentle. Again, it is so wonderful. I mean, as much as I love the idea of a Duramax diesel engine in my full-size SUV, there's just something about the premium luxury feeling and responsiveness you get from a lovely, naturally aspirated 6.2-liter V8. There have been some issues, I know, with the engine, but even so, I would go with the 6.2. Obviously, the Duramax will be far, far better fuel economy-wise because, well, GM says that you'll average in the city about 16.5 liters per 100 kilometers and do maybe, I think it's 12 or 10 or something like that on the highway. The point of the matter is that 16 is your starting point, and it happens to be what I'm averaging now. I'm doing about mixed driving. If I was doing all city, 18 is your starting point right there. And that is obviously this SUV's flaw. But look, it'll tow 8,000 pounds. It'll carry everyone and everything. What do you expect? Well, this is exactly what I expect. Something that is this comfortable, so quiet. The 10-speed automatic transmission is seamless. I mean, unless you really roll onto the throttle, you can feel the downshifts, more or less the upshifts. And if I was to make one other comment about the 6.2 is that even under load, it's it's a little too quiet. I wish I could hear more of it. I mean, GM does offer it's an aftermarket exhaust and intake that you can add to this, which I would absolutely do. To be honest, though, I don't know that it increases the volume of intake or exhaust. Probably does. I don't know, but I would still do it just because. Brake pedal feel is good. It's very GM-like. It's a little spongy but responsive, so it's quick to, you adapt quickly to the way it responds to brake pedal pressure. Steering is heavy, isolated about as much as it could possibly be from what's going on the front wheels, but things are going on. Look, this SUV is just fantastic. It's the type of vehicle you want to load up everyone you know, everything you own, and honestly, tomorrow morning, if it was possible, I'd drive to either Key West, San Diego, or if I can't cross the border, Victoria. I just would, because in this vehicle, it'll take you there. You'll be calm, refreshed, I can't talk, invigorated, relaxed. I don't know. It's such a good vehicle on so many levels. And that's why so many of us love these trucks, because they're so good at delivering everything. Did I mention it can tow 8,000 pounds without breaking a sweat? I mean, yes, obviously I'd prefer to drive a Golf GTI, but I mean, in the real world with family, this is it. This is the SUV. Can I get a Tahoe? Because I think it kind of looks better. But yeah, this is fantastic. I love this truck. We love this truck. It's a great truck.